Hi guys, my name is Joseph E from Residential Projects Australia, and I have my beautiful wife once again in our video. In this week's video, we really want to talk about budgeting.
Sure do.
You know, we come from a family between my wife and I, we have 6 kids. Yes,
Yep.
That's right, 6 kids. And yes, we do have TVs.
Yeah.
Okay, long story. Anyway, but I guess between my wife and I, we have different, I guess a different perception on the way we spend our money, values on the way we spend our money, huh?
Well, you were all about budgeting, really, weren't you? And then for me, it was something that was scary. I'm not usually, well, I don't know if it was scary. It was, I just didn't get excited about it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not much of a procrastinator, but when it comes to budgeting, I definitely was. I now realise that it's more of a necessity than anything else. And if I want to reach, you know, if we want to reach our financial goals, it's just something that we have to do. So, thanks to you, really.
I'll take the credit for it.
I realise now that it's actually more of a mindset thing than anything else. So, and I've realised that we value things, or how we spend money is based on what we value, and you know, and
we're a
we
bit
value different. Yeah,
which is all
for
good.
sure.
But what I would say is, you know, we've made a lot of money over the years, and we've spent a lot of money. Yes. She loves to travel. And
I love memories. I love creating memories.
And sometimes we haven't done so well.
Yeah.
And we've also spent that money too. So I think the first step, if I was to give you, I guess, a number of steps on how you can budget and how we do it, I think the first step we need to understand is budgeting is a mindset. It's not the money you earn that will determine how much you save. We have clients at RPA that earn $100,000 a year that spend $110,000. We have clients that earn $1 million a year that spend $1.1 million. And we also have clients that earn $80,000 a year that only spend $60,000. So it's not how much money you earn that determines how much you save. It's more of the mindset on how you handle money. And the best way I can put it to you is wealthy people invest their money first and then spend what's left.
Yeah.
Where I guess unwealthy or poor people, they tend to spend their money and hope that there's something left to invest.
Yeah.
And the reality is it will never be that way. Because you ask yourself, and you be real, is when you start earning more money, the only thing that changes is you go from the Kmart clothes to the Gucci clothes. Or you go from the small TV to the large TV. Or you go from the small house to the big house.
Yeah.
And we can always spend more than we earn. And it's kind of a habit that we need to stop at a young age. And it's a habit that we should really, and we've been trying to work on that with our kids, that we tell them that they must put a certain amount of money before they get to spend their money each week.
Yeah, definitely.
So my steps in regards to budgeting and what we've done over the years is we've learned to the first step is to put everything on paper.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed to see how much you actually spend.
Yeah, I know I was when we did that the first time.
Terrible. Anyway. But you don't realise the little things that you buy on a day-to-day basis can sometimes be way over the top. Yeah. And all these little $5 or $3 a day coffees or $4 a day coffees every week is $50 a week or $70 a week. Yeah. That's, you know, $350 a year. That's $4,000 or $350 a month, $4,000 a year. It all really adds up. Yeah. So what I recommend, put everything on paper. Yeah. You know, there are a lot of applications these days that you can use. At RPA, if you're a member of RPA, we actually have this software that manages all your finance from the palm of your hand. But you don't have to use our software. There are plenty of free software out there that you can use that will help you manage your expenses. So number one, I know it's time consuming, write everything down. Yeah. Write every expense, monitor every expense. Yeah. And number two, you need to basically determine, you know, your budget. You need to work out how much you're actually spending. And from there, you really understand that, put a budget in place, but take this investment money out first. So if you earn $1,000 a week, and you're going to say, I'm going to put 10% aside, start with 10 or 20, you should start with 20%, but if you can't do 20%, start with 10%. Yeah. Put $100 aside before you even look at, you know, your budget. And then work your budget on the $900. Yeah. And if you work your budget on $900 and you force yourself to save that extra $100, you'll get into a habit to not spend as much, if that makes sense. So once we determine our budget, I think it's really important to understand our why. Why is it that we are budgeting? Yeah. Is it because it's a punishment? Now, if you think budgeting is a punishment, then the chances are you'll never save. Yeah. if your budgeting and your savings are going towards your next investment, going towards your retirement needs, going towards a holiday, something that means a lot to you, the how is not really important as long as you know why you want to do it. And then the how will sort itself out, which is the steps that we go through basically, through the process. Once we determine the why, we need to understand what's most important to pay and what's not so important to pay. So set your priorities straight. What is a fixed cost and what's a variable cost?
What you have to cut back on.
Determine, is 2 coffees a day a necessity? Some people may say, yes. No. No, isn't a necessity. If it's not a necessity, you need to cut that back. That may be something that you need to do. Is going out to dinner 3 days a week a necessity?
No.
See? You're learning, getting it. It may not be something that's important. So if you need to cut back short term and that's something that you need to do, then you need to work that out. Sometimes short-term pain for long-term gain is what you really need to be focused on. Always think of the long-term. And if you are investing, make sure you're making your money work for you. I had a saying told to me many years ago, is if you're working for money and if you don't have money work for you, you'll always just survive. So find a way to make the money that you earn, the hard-earned money that you've earned, work for you when you're not working, if that makes sense. One thing I definitely recommend is have automatic savings. So don't expect you to transfer that $100 a week or $200 a week.
We're teaching that to our 19-year-old at the moment.
Correct.
And
it was tough. It was tough. She thought we're punishing her, but it wasn't. So what we do is we have automatic direct debits. So like you'd have an automatic direct debit to pay at your credit card, so you don't accumulate the interest, have an automatic direct debit towards your savings. That goes into an account that is not easy accessible. Okay? You cannot have it linked to your credit card or your savings card. It needs to be something that is hard to access. So have an automatic direct debit. And one thing I would say is watch your money grow. The last thing I probably say is watch your money grow. When you start to see your money grow and you start to see progress tends to make you feel good. And I guess seeing that money grow and invest in that money and seeing it helping you towards your financial future. Some people say I'll use that money to buy my next investment or to help pay down my mortgage. Whatever you use it for, make sure you see it grow and feel good about it. Okay, and I think that's the step. So going back, change your mindset. Understand the mindset of investing or budgeting. Save first and then spend what's left over. Number 2, have everything documented on paper. Make sure we have a clear indication of what our expenses are. You can use an application. Number 3 is know your why you're actually doing this. Number 4, make a priority. So what you need to pay and what you don't necessarily need to pay. And make sure number 5, have the automatic payments coming out. And number 6, sit there and enjoy the growth. Hope that's some added value to your family situation. I know with me and my wife and I, we have different values. I like to go on holidays and spend my money there, and I like to invest. My wife will find every reason why doing something that puts a smile on the kid's face, another memory to have. I need to justify the value when I spend. We're both different, but we both come together and
exactly. It's about coming together and working it out from there.
Sometimes.
Most of the time.
She's the boss. Anyway, thank you so much for watching us, guys.
See you, everyone.
And stay tuned for our next video. Take care.